Viewer discretion is advised.
Merging the human brain with a computer would truly change our species forever. Researchers are developing technology that can transfer data between computers and our brains, and even read people's minds. For now, we have the power to detect brain waves and track electrical pulses within the neurons in our brains, and researchers are using this information, however vague, to aid the differently abled and make life easier for everyone.
Neuralink could begin testing human brain implants later this year, says Elon Musk. Billionaire mogul and Tesla CEO Elon Musk teased that neurotechnology company Neuralink could begin implanting computer chips in humans later this year. Neuralink is working very hard to ensure implant safety and is in close communication with the FDA. If things go well, we may be able to do initial human trials later this year, Musk wrote on Twitter. The statement came in response to a comment from a user who asked him to participate in human testing. I was in a car accident 20 years ago, and since then I have been paralyzed from the shoulders. I am always available for clinical studies at Neuralink, wrote Hamoon Kamai on the social network. Days before, Musk assured that Neuralink already had a laboratory monkey with a chip implanted in its skull. You can play video games with your mind, said the owner of SpaceX. The short-term goal of the Neuralink project is to solve brain and spinal injuries, while in the long term, it would seek human-AI symbiosis.
Musk unveiled is this kind of quarter or silver dollar size device that sits on top of the brain. He described the process as fairly trivial, opening up the top of the skull and placing this on top of the brain. It uses this very thin lattice-like cables to connect and transmit. Now, we have seen similar devices in the past that are larger, more clunky, but also fairly capable. Some tests in the Department of Defense have shown that under computer simulations, people with similar implants have been able to control flight simulations of fighter planes. So the capabilities are pretty tremendous.
Elon Musk passing Bill Gates to become the second richest person in the world with a fortune of over $128 billion. Now, never before has anyone become so wealthy so quickly. Just this year in 2020, Elon Musk has added $100 billion to his wealth. That works out to $13 million per hour for the entire year of 2020. Now, in the coming years, he could also benefit from this incredible pay package that was granted back in 2018. That could be valued at an additional $55 billion if Tesla meets certain market caps and hits certain performance strategies.
An intense debate is underway over the benefits and drawbacks of human microchips. They're already used to identify ranch animals and pets. But the practice of implanting chips in people is also on the rise. Those who embrace the idea say they see it as a way to take back control of their personal data. But others are worried about how that data could be used. Special correspondent Malcolm Brabant reports from southern England.
These microchips use a system called near-field communication. It's exactly the same sort of technology used in contactless debit and credit cards. Like the bank cards, the chip's information can be scanned, but it cannot transmit. Once banking security has been configured, developers believe consumers will soon be free to spend with the implant. A British railway ticket, but it's much different in Sweden, a country supposedly leading the microchip revolution. On Sweden's high-speed rail lines for the past 18 months, implanted passengers have put their travel payment on the chip.
I think it's really good with a chip ticket. I love all companies that use the chip technology.
But the rail company is stopping the experiment. The number of implanted passengers is relatively small, and it wants to pursue other forms of ticketing. This is not a setback, insists Sweden's microchip pioneer Johan Österlund, a former body piercer seen here giving a TED talk.
We can do easier travel. We can do faster and safer payment. We can do something as mundane as opening a door. I mean, the opportunities are endless.
Unfortunately, these innovators often don't think about the political ramifications.
Gus Hussain is the executive director of Privacy International, a non-profit that challenges overreaching state and corporate surveillance.
In today's world particularly, we have to imagine how governments and how ambitious politicians and even ambitious corporate executives will try to imagine putting this type of technology into you so that they can exploit your data and ultimately exploit you.
IT student Kieran Anderson is being chipped by Dr. Jeff Watson, a consultant anaesthetist who's driving research into the medical benefits.
The microchip's actually inside here, and there's a sort of introducer piece of plastic that will push it out once it's in. Okay, so this is the implant coming now. You'll feel a bit of pressure and a bit of a clunk. So you're now a cyborg. Welcome. Not too painful?
No, that's fine.
Kieran has a near-field communication microchip in his hand, and that can be used to store data, store information, his name, address, contact details, anything he chooses to put on there, blood type, allergies, basic medical information.
The idea of everything being able to commute together excites me quite a lot. So, automatic payments and that sort of thing without you having to actually do anything.
The idea of this chip is that it's not transmitting anything. It has to be actively read. You choose who can read it and when they can read it. I think that gives us a lot more personal control over our information than your mobile phone is giving away.
But Privacy International's Gus Hussain is yet to be convinced.
Already governments are keen to capture your fingerprints. They are keen to capture your iris scans, and they want to be able to do this at a distance so they can identify as you walk through areas. They're doing facial recognition. These are all fallible technologies. They're hard to do well, but the idea that they could actually just embed you, it is a modern form of tattooing barcodes on people, and we've seen governments do that in the past. This is just the next generation.
Stephen Northern, the co-owner of the British implant company, believes those fears are exaggerated.
So I've been compared to Hitler before for microchipping people. It's been commented, but I mean, I can't really see the connection personally. I can understand people have very strong views. There's big ethical arguments around microchipping people. Currently, it's by choice. No one is enforcing you have to be microchipped. If that happens, completely different ball game and lots more arguments to be had around it.
The chips can be read by scanners installed in the latest mobile phones. So how easy would it be for a hacker to steal the information from the implants used by Alex and others?
Any technology is open to abuse, and anybody would be able to hack it. In order to hack these devices, it has to be held still for a period of time. At the moment, I think that takes about 3 to 4 hours to hack it.
Privacy International's Gus Hussain insists he's not a Luddite, a person opposed to new technology.
Every technology that comes along has to be treated with complete suspicion until we're able to sort out the ethical barriers around our actions.
I live an incredible life, a life that I'm incredibly happy to be living.
As this technology improves, the debate will intensify as to whether implants generate or diminish freedom, as well as the many shades of grey in between. For the PBS NewsHour, I'm Malcolm Brabant in southern England.